Alright, I know these vets, these C4 Corvettes, are getting a little more popular nowadays because of how cheap they are and how many there are out here. There's a few things you can do to these, make them a little more reliable, actually boost the performance on them just a little bit. One is the smog delete. You can see I've already pulled all the smog off there, pulled out the wiring and the plumbing on it. Usually sits right up here. There's another thing you can do with the coolant. It's called a coolant bypass for the throttle body. They ran coolant through these to keep it from freezing, but unless you live in like Alaska, you don't really need it. It'll free up a little space in your engine compartment and a few other things. I am taking off the coolant hoses. I was looking to delete these T's. This sits on here like this. Normally you have a hose that runs from here to here to run that coolant. Here's the other side. You have a hose that runs from the coolant tank, which normally sits here. I've taken off. Comes down here, T's, goes from here to here. Like I said, you don't need it. I am going to do my best to find some of these hoses so where I can get just a solid hose and I don't have to get a little spacer here, just because I don't like the hose clamps. I just think it looks like crap. This runs down into your water pump, obviously. So what I'm doing is I'm gonna replace this with a solid hose. Get rid of this. There's a video on YouTube another guy posted. You can either cap these off or actually cut the bottom of the throttle body, and you just have to, save this sensor. I'm probably just going to cap it, but right now I am doing my best to get rid of these T's on it because, like I said, I do not like the way it looks. What I did was I made a little jig out of this copper wire that I have here to track the flow, see, just to kind of get an idea. It sets on the original mount for this. The guys at Napa were nice enough to let me go through all their hoses, and I found this one, and it's pretty close to what I need. I might have to trim it a little bit. Here's the part number. It's for a 2008 or 9 Chrysler Town and Country minivan, but it works perfectly for what I need it for. Here you see that it plugs in here, plugs in, sets in this tray perfectly, and then it'll plug into there. I might have to trim about an inch of it off, but to me it looks so much better. You don't have the T or the hose or all these bends like it does normally. Just looks a ton better. And if you guys own a C4, go get you one of these if you're doing the delete on that, and it'll look a lot better than anything they got available. Just my personal preference. I don't like a lot of these around. I think they look like crap. So yeah, if you are doing a throttle body bypass, go get you one of these hoses and run it. I got this card for super cheap. Still dealing with getting the title to it. You know how that goes. The B&V is always giving you the runaround, but it's in the works. This will be my first YouTube video. Probably make a couple more after this. I've already put new shocks on it. Put them on the rear. I've done a few things. It's got a new OptiSpark. I've replaced the plugs and wires. I mean, this thing runs like a top. Typical Chevy 350, you know. They run great. Super reliable. This is the third Corvette I've owned. My first one was an 84 with the boat anchor, Crossfire V8. This one's the newest one I've had, the LT1. It's pretty beat up, but I'm just going to use it to do burnouts and shit. So, I mean, it really doesn't need to be super nice. I plan on wrapping it, doing a little body work. I found some doors and a hood. I'm actually looking for seats if anybody knows where to find any or can send me in the right direction. I need a target top. I've found a lot of the parts. They're on Marketplace. They're always 4 or 5 hours away, but you know, I'm willing to drive. I'm gonna be putting new gears in the headlights so they don't, you know, so they actually work. But yeah, so expect some more videos to come. And if you got one of these C4s and you're doing the bypass, go get you one of these hoses. It looks a lot better and it works perfectly.